Initiating weekly entertainment brought to you by Extra Rad. Boys Meet Film will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy.
Welcome to Boys Meet Film. My name's Michael, and these are my boys,
Sean
and Kellen.
And today we are talking about Fantastic Four, the first steps.
Or as some say, Fantastic Four.
Yes.
That was really good.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Were you in the soundtrack?
You'd think.
Yeah.
But they didn't let me in.
Did you ever do choir in your early days?
You know, you would also think that. But again, that's a...
Well, let's
that's
not derail this podcast immediately.
Yeah.
This film's directed by Matt Shakman, which is
The
great.
Shakman.
Yeah. We have Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby,
Boom.
Eben Moss Backrack. I think that's how his
Is that the guy from The Bear?
Yeah, that's the guy from The Bear. And then
guy.
Joseph Quinn.
You're
Boom.
forgetting one more.
Paul Walter Hauser.
No.
Galactus?
He was in the movie.
Do you know who Galactus was?
Oh, yeah, Ralph Ineson.
Yeah.
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 Great actor.
Oh,
From The
and
Witch,
Did
Green
we?
Knight.
Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah. And
Oh.
oh my god, we're off to a banging start, guys. Thanks for watching our pod. Did we say Julia Garner?
Oh, Julia Garner as
Yeah.
well as the Silver Surfer. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We can get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I got a bone to pick.
I think let's just get into our thoughts. What did you guys think of this movie? I'm going to start with Kellen.
Yeah, let's start with Kellen.
Yeah.
Final
You know,
statements?
so okay, here's the thing, man. I already I'm not the guy who is watching a lot of superhero films.
Why?
They're just
Tell us.
not really for me, you know.
Okay,
I'm just
why?
like, well,
What do you hate about him?
I don't hate them. I just, you know, don't enjoy them as much as other movies.
Why?
Because I think, you know, the whole savior complex, like God complex thing, and then like humanizing people, but you know, I don't know.
You
dude,
like a
it's-
more grounded story?
It's just
What is it?
it's-
No, because you love sci-fi.
I love sci-fi, but sci-fi is
So-
often like new and inventive
Yeah.
concepts, whereas like superhero movie, I mean, they do tend to get very creative with the way they portray superheroes, you know. That was a loud gulp. But like it's not for me. And you know what? The demographic for this movie in particular especially wasn't for me. Like I'm already not a superhero guy. But like I feel like this movie, you know, it pandered to you know, our Marvel fans, right? And B kind of catered to like young parents as well, or like young families, or
Yeah.
even like, you know, anybody with like kids or, you know, what have you. I don't have kids. I don't like superhero movies. But I will say this. I mean, I had a good time.
Happy you were there, Colin.
Yeah.
I
That was
thought
really
you had mentioned before we saw the movie that you read the Fantastic Four comics when you were younger.
Really?
So you
Yeah.
had
So you have that that lore in your back pocket. You
Yeah.
have
you had some excitement for this.
a little excitement, right?
Yeah,
That's the add to it.
I did.
This is a franchise that I feel like there's a fan base for it because a lot of people like the comics. But every single movie that has come out has not been successful as far as quality. And in my humble opinion, I did not like this film.
You did not have a good time.
I didn't like it at all.
Okay, because I want to retract my statement. I didn't really have a good time, but there were some things I did like.
So you were lying to us.
No, I don't want to come off as like just a massive hater because like this was the most packed theater we've been in this year.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people who were having a really great time.
Especially right behind us.
Yeah, especially
Oh,
right
yeah.
behind us. Yeah, that guy behind us had a little quip for every little like beat.
Oh yeah. What were some things he said?
I don't know.
At the end, he said that's like one of the best movies I've ever seen.
No, he's like, that's what we're talking about. We were back, or something like that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then he literally did say,
Oh, really?
that's like the best movie I've ever seen," which was insane.
Dude, that is insane because like that was. Oh man, this is gonna be controversial, guys, but it was kind of a boring movie.
I agree.
It was kind of boring.
I thought overall the tone of the movie was strange. There was like a interesting tone, and I know you and I had talked about this afterwards, where I feel like the scenes with Galactus were really like interesting, and like I wanted more of that tone, you know. But overall, as I was thinking more about this movie, like the cast, I really like the people in this cast, but I felt like every single one of them just like felt really weird as these characters. Like Pedro Pascal as this stringy little Jello man did not work for me.
Spaghetti boy.
Yeah.
There's something really weird about that. I hated the interpretation of the Thing in this movie. There's just something so unsettling and just like I don't know, just
From
weird.
how he was moving, or like what he said, or
No,
like what he looked like.
One,
What
I
was
just
unsettling about him?
I would say that the Thing was like the weakest character in this movie to me. Like there is not much. He felt like the outsider of the group, and I mean, in a way, he is the only one that's not like blood in any way. But he was just boring. He was a boring character. They didn't give him that much to do. He looked fucking weird. And like, I like the concept of the Thing. I feel like they actually, in the past two movies, have done way better with their representation of the Thing. This one was fucking strange. Vanessa Kirby is the only person that I thought in this movie like gave like a good performance and like fit her character. Joseph,
I liked her face when every time she's using her powers. She's
Ooh,
real,
yeah.
real giving it.
And then
Just
she turns on the
screaming.
gas and she's like,
Yeah.
she gets that real intense look.
Pumps it in.
Yeah, it looks like she'll pop a blood vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's squeezing out that power.
Yeah.
Joseph Quinn is a great actor. He was in the new Gladiator movie. Freaking killed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But he was the one that felt the weirdest to me in this movie.
Yeah, he just wanted to clap some alien
It
cheeks.
was Johnny Storm, right?
Johnny
Yeah.
Storm.
Johnny Storm.
See,
Or
and
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
Now,
That's a cool name.
Yeah.
I think
Johnny
that
Storm, too.
obviously his character is like a womanizer, right? Like throughout like other
I
interpretations
think that's
of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially from the Chris Evans version of
Oh,
Johnny
yeah.
Storm.
Oh,
like
yeah.
extreme womanizer.
Well,
I feel like they dialed
yeah.
back a lot
Yep.
off that one.
And that's kind of the point that I was wanting to make is like Joseph Quinn did not feel right for that role. Like Chris Evans felt so right for that role.
I did like Chris Evans' version of it better.
Oh yeah. Joseph
say.
Quinn, like, I don't know, just like it didn't feel like the edgy like guy that's like trying to break all the rules, you know, and gets everyone in a little bit of trouble.
The bad boy. There was no leather jacket.
No.
Well, I think he was just super respectful. He wanted to take out Silver Surfer on a date, you know, treat her right, show her what she's been missing in her life. You know,
Sure.
be the guy that she's been searching throughout the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's just a new take on it.
None of the characters clicked for me. Especially the Silver Surfer.
Well, they were like all flat characters.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, maybe not all of them, but definitely the Thing.
Yeah.
Which the thing is like, I think he's the most interesting out of the Fantastic Four. Cause like, I don't know. Cause
he's dealing with his insecurities of his change.
yeah, that's definitely
Or-
a part of it. Definitely, and like, we got the
There's-
origin story with the 2005 version, and that was cool. That was really like looking back on that. That was a
Mhm.
pretty fun movie.
Mhm.
Chris Evans, doing the finger snap, like check this out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's a fun thing. It like ropes you in, gives you that like excitement that you come to expect with superhero movies. But with this one, it was all like they're established as a
Mhm.
Fantastic Four, and they have this history of exploits, which we kind of get a little montage. We get like the Underminer from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
That was
you know?
awesome.
But like
Not from The Incredibles.
I was
the Underminer.
I was disappointed because like there's nothing about the Thing, and like, okay, here's a fun fact about the Thing. This is why he's so cool. All right, so in the comic books, in the lore, the Thing ends up dying 3,000 years later from like the events that happened like here in like the 50s or 60s or whatever it's supposed to be, because like his irradiated rock skin doesn't allow him to like age as humans would. Like he has the like carbon half-life of a rock, basically.
Does he erode in the rain?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh, he doesn't have
plates
any
shift
organs
to each
beneath
other.
his rock. He's
He-
just got rock tummies and rock heart.
I think he does
Rock
have
ass.
like some organs, but like, I mean, I don't know. There's like, we don't. What I guess what I'm trying to get at is we don't get any like interesting insight
Mhm.
into these characters about like the nature of their powers,
Yeah.
and like what makes them truly unique as like superhero characters. Instead, we have this like massive push for this family story, and these like really, I mean, I'm sorry, but like kind of weak internal conflicts.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Blaze is frustrated that nobody's taking him seriously, and like that honestly doesn't even really get resolved. Like
He proves himself with
Does a little bit.
a little.
but
I mean,
we
I
don't
don't know if
wanna
we can go
get
into
it yet.
spoilers, but
Not yet. But
yeah, but
here's the thing.
yeah.
On that note, so I think superhero movies are coming to this area, right, where there's been enough superhero movies now. We have iterations, right? We have 3 different iterations of Spider-Man now, stuff like that. We already know as an audience kind of the context and background to these characters. So these directors have to make a choice. Like, do we show their origin story again in this new iteration? Do we change up their origin a little bit? Or do we just rely on the audience already having contextual knowledge of these people? And in this scenario, I don't think it worked at all, just relying on the audience's context. Obviously, there's like a really passionate fan base, but it just all got reduced into this TV news spot. And it's just like, this is what happened. Now they have this. These are your characters. And now we can begin the film. And there's something about a person like being human turning into something that is not human that I think there's something interesting there,
I disagree. I like that they didn't have that whole entire origin story again because we got it in 2 other versions before.
Well,
and
yeah.
I feel like we were skipping over the middle one a lot, which we should because
Yep.
this was a way better film than the last one.
Sure.
So that one, that alone, I'm pretty stoked about.
Mhm.
But I am glad that they did kind of rely on us knowing.
Here's the thing, though. I agree with that. Like, I would rather not see the origin story every single time now. But you have to do that right. And I don't think they did it
They
successfully
did
in this
it
movie.
in a fun way with like the old footage, like the like documentary style old footage. I feel like that was kind of fun.
It's
To me,
fun,
I thought.
and I mean, that's like that might be an opinion thing for me, like opinion based, but it just didn't work for me. To me, it's just kind of a context dump, and there wasn't anything in that footage that was that interesting or alluring for me to like hook to the character. Whereas, the only other thing we have to rely on is the internal conflict, which the strongest one, which isn't a spoiler, is that, what's her name? Sue Storm?
Susan Storm.
Sue Storm and Mr. Jello Boy.
Dr. Reed Richards.
Thank you. They have a kid, right? They're having a kid. They're about to be parents, and there's anxiety in that. And that is a great, like on paper, great internal conflict. But what do Johnny Blaze, The Thing get? Like they don't, like you said, like their internal conflicts are not that strong. So as characters, like they're kind of boring to me.
They have mundane problems,
Yeah.
but they have extraordinary like character setups,
Yeah.
which is it clashes
Yeah.
so hard.
Yeah, so there's just something like to me just a little bit stale and a little bit bland with our characters to begin with. And then the whole conflict with Galactus was set up really cool at first. And I really liked the idea. Like, you have to give something super precious to you, which in this case is their baby. And this is all in the trailer, so I don't think we're spoiling anything by saying
Did they
this.
say in the trailer that Galactus is coming for the baby?
Yeah. Because they have the whole press conference in the trailer.
Press conference.
Press
conference.
But
They
so
asked too much of us.
I like that
They asked
setup
for our
because that's a
child.
super like philosophical thing and ethical thing that you have to think about for the greater good of humanity, right?
A Faustian bargain.
Yeah. But in the movie itself, there were so many like weird little just like writing moments, like weird little plot holes that were just taking me out. And I think like most people probably won't be reading into that stuff or like caring. But like when the people of Earth find out that Galactus wants to destroy their planet, no one freaks out. Like no one freaks out at all.
There was some freaking
They
out.
freaked out. I mean, they freaked out, but they deflected their anger toward the Fantastic Four.
No.
because they
I'm talking
play-
about before they even go to meet Galactus, though. When the Silver
Oh.
Surfer comes to
Oh,
Earth,
yeah, no, you're
and
right.
it's like, your planet is about to be destroyed.
Well-
It's next. No one freaks out.
I mean, in their defense, every single time something bad has happened to them, the Fantastic Four was there
Sure.
to stop it, and
Sure.
that could give everyone a self of confidence in their Earth that they have Earth protectors.
Yeah.
But that's just me debating that.
What?
Dude,
Well-
I just realized. Remember when we talked about the representation of like the people
Yeah.
of the city being like kind of weird?
Mm-hmm.
I think I just realized why it's so weird to me and uncomfortable. Because every time we see like this is New York, right?
Is it?
Am I crazy? Is that crazy?
Is
I
it
think
New York?
so, yeah.
Jarvis, Google that.
Looks like it.
Because I want to get this right. I want to represent these people accurately enough. Okay. That was my Johnny Drama impression.
That's cool.
Yeah. 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 But anyway, every time we see the people, they're always like kind of sycophantic. Like they see the Fantastic Four and they're like, "Oh my god! Like, look, it's the Fantastic Four!" Or like every time they see them do something, like they have this stereotypical, New York reaction where they're like, "Hey, get a load of this," like, "Yeah, well, look at this junk over here," like, "Yeah." I don't know, but then like aside from that, I think we had 4 inserts of like when they were launching the rocket, then coming back down with the rocket. There were like 4 of these like back-to-back sequences where we see like the people and they're just cheering. They're waving little flags and they're just like, cheering like a dad has his like daughter on his shoulders and they're just like, oh, he's like, look, it's Fantastic Four. It's like they adore them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get super mad at them because like, and here's the thing, like they got mad at them for telling the people that they wouldn't give up their kid in order to save Earth, right? Which right off the bat is being transparent and fair and clear communication, right? And then the people throw a temper tantrum. They're like, well, just give up the baby. Like, let your kid die. Like, what do we care, They're indignant. They're going through this they're throwing like a tantrum in the streets. They're protesting outside their tower. Then finally, I was wondering why we were made to watch this scene. When Susan Storm came out with the baby, to kind of like placate the people.
We're fully in spoilers, by the way. Guys.
Yeah, we're
in spoilers. It's too late. I don't care. When she comes out and she has her little speech to like calm the people down, at first it felt very like superficial, and then like, I kept wondering like why is the presence of the people such a big part of this film when like they really don't add anything other than like constant adoration and like love. And I realized that it's the connection between like, parents and their child. And that is the sort of like meta archetype between the Fantastic Four and the people. Fantastic Four are the parental figures. They're the protectors, the guardians, right? The people are just kind of helpless and plain. And they need so much. And they constantly like have, demand things from mommy and daddy. So when she came out to like talk to them, she was having a sit down with them, being like, hey, look, it's not okay for this thing to happen, okay? You got to understand, we can't sacrifice a child. Right?
Yeah. But
does that make sense?
To dispute, to argue the first point, like if I knew that if this child would just be given up, I would save me, my family, all my friends from dying and the earth from like being destroyed, I'd probably hate the child too. So that switch up
Would
makes
you
sense.
really?
I mean, like, what if it's like, if one baby is taken away, that's going to save 1 billion people and Earth from being destroyed. That's not that crazy. It's like what we want life for over 1 billion.
Baby too.
I would
you wouldn't
give up the baby? You try. I mean, like
you just let Earth die.
As a human, being as a superhero.
Are you guys
like as a human? You wouldn't give up baby for 1 billion people with 1 billion, millions of babies, millions of other. That's saving millions of babies for one baby.
Are you guys Christian? Because that's exactly what you're describing. Is Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we're pro-abortion, women's rights. just give up the baby, dude.
Not me, dude.
We're pro-choice, dude. Hell yeah.
You're the one that's
anti-women.
You're the one who told me to say the shit like
this. Anti-women. This movie is kind of a pro-life movie.
It is. It's like it's breeding and propagating propaganda.
Yep.
It is. It's saying like at all costs, don't give up that baby.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, even if the world is at stake,
yeah,
the world's
don't give up that baby.
Yeah.
Galactus is a really hungry guy. He's got a real growly belly right now. He's gonna munch Earth.
Because not only is it a sin, Galactus is gonna eat you.
They
coming
also
for ya.
do like what like conservatives will do at the like pro-life rallies, where like they show you the baby in her stomach.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, there is so much of this movie that was just so pro-life. It
It's-
was really weird.
It's subliminal messaging, folks. And like, if you've ever been in like a restaurant with like, you know, bright overhead lighting or like, you know, design sense, they're trying to tell you something without directly telling you this.
Mhm.
Movies do it all the time. Emotional manipulation is kind of the name of the game in Hollywood, whether that's with scores, that's with really sad character stories. Marley and Me. You guys.
Question: how do restaurants do it with the overhead lighting? What is that?
Oh yeah, so restaurants, depending on the style of restaurant, if it's fast food, they might have like really bright overhead lighting so that you come in, you're hungry. They have a lot of smells of like, you know, all the food cooking, so like you're like, yeah, I'm fucking ready for my food. As soon as you get your food, you have this like incentive not to stay because the light is harsh and it's not like maybe very comfortable. Odds are they have like really hard seats for you to sit on,
Mm.
like McDonald's, right? Now compare that to like a
they,
nice
they
restaurant.
look like they have a cushion, but they're just plastic.
Yeah, it's just hard plastic. Hurts your butt after a while.
Yeah.
But if you go to a nice restaurant, they have like low, you know, warm, dimmer overhead, you know, like
Mhm.
lower lighting.
They got a DJ
Um,
that's throwing sushi at you.
Maybe. But it's like it's cozy, it's inviting, you know, like kind of gives you the impression of like a living room. It invites you to stay longer and incentivizes you to buy more things. It's a psychology practice. All businesses do it.
That's cool.
Back to the movie.
Anyway.
I feel like you brought this up when you and I were talking after the movie. The representation of the world is through the lens of the people of New York, which already to me is kind of like limiting in your perspective. And we're talking about the whole world ending. So I would have liked to see like the whole world reacting to this as well.
I mean, they did get whole world working together stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
over
were-
a
that were
phone
trying-
call.
But and we'll get into
FaceTime.
This is London. What's going on?
well, I have more to say. I have more to say about that, but I just like the representation of New York too. To me, is just so flat. Like we were talking about Spider-Man, right? And like the original ones, like that feels like a community, right? That feels like New York. Like the people are authentic, they're vibrant, they're real. The people in this movie feel like Sims, you know? They're just
Yeah.
like little NPCs that are,
Yeah,
you
because
know?
even in Spider-Man, you had the whole like, you gotta go through us to get to him
yeah,
thing, and like it was like, yeah,
yeah.
and like you're like, yeah, that's us, baby. Yeah. And it's like, dude, that's I mean, that's a great like, you know, like I don't know.
To me, I just feel like
Representation.
all of the pieces in this movie that are supposed to play together to make you feel, which is ultimately like what you want the audience to do not work. And I feel like people are just watching this movie. People love this movie. So I do want to point that out. I am in the minority here. But I feel like people are just, they got copium right now. They're just happy that it's like compared to some of the last Marvels, you know, it's a lot better than what's been coming out. Thunderbolts, in my opinion, was a much better movie than this one and was actually like enjoyable to watch. This one just fucking pissed me off because there's a lot of potential, a lot of opportunity, and everything was just boring, bland.
Well, Michael, think about it this way. Like, and again, going back to our great conversation that we had in the car. In
Yeah.
fact, looking back on it, like, man, we should have just saved all that for the podcast.
We should have, yeah.
But that being said, this film was not made for us.
No.
Like I was telling you, there's a point. I think it was like maybe a montage of like them baby proofing the house or something, or maybe it was like, I don't know, The Thing.
There's a baby proofing montage.
Yeah.
Those.
But I kind of blacked out for a little bit. And I was
How long of the movie did you black out for? You think?
I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. I think it's such a bullshit thing, and I'm not saying this like to you and your opinion because I think a lot of people say this, but like such a bullshit thing to be like, this movie was not made for me because there's so many good superhero movies. You know, like Batman is one of the most incredible superheroes that has representation in film. Like when I think of a superhero movie that I enjoy, I think of Batman. The recent Superman was one of the best superhero movies, but also just one of the best blockbusters I've ever seen.
I will say,
And-
yeah, coming off of Superman, I did like Superman way more than
So
Fantastic
much
Four.
better than this movie.
It just hit so much harder for me.
And well, so this is the point. It's like Marvel, I'm noticing these movies don't stand on their own. They stand for the fan base. You know, like they're made for the fan base. You have to watch all 30 of them so that you have the full scope of what's going on, which at that point is a TV show. And like what they did with Endgame is incredible. But it took them years to craft that story, you know? What they're doing now is starting to get rushed and it's starting to get lazy and they're trying to do the same thing, but they are missing, at least in my opinion. I think fans are like just excited that things are coming back and like you have the prospect of, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, right? And stuff like that, which to me doesn't excite me at all. Like I love Robert Downey Jr. I think he's awesome as Iron Man, but let's like not live in the past, you know, let's move forward and do something new. But obviously that's something to just keep them alive at this point. And I think they know that. And I think they're struggling. And I just feel like what DC is doing right now, especially now that we have James Gunn, like they're focusing on the characters. They actually care about the humanity of like the people in the movie. There's something to chew on. It's interesting. And DC, like they've had some awful movies, thinking of the first Suicide Squad and, you know, the Zack Snyders, all of that. But the characters, they swing hard, you know? They take big risks. And I think that's something that it just pisses me off to see a movie that like this that could have so much potential and then it just ended up being like a movie that I'm for sure going to forget about and like never going to think about again. And that was my big long tangent on Marvel versus DC.
Cool, man. Let me put it
Nice.
this way.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like Eddington?
Yeah.
How many people were in that theater?
By the end, just
Compared
us.
to
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
You didn't
Yeah.
like this movie, but how packed was this
It-
theater?
It was
Stark
incredibly
difference
packed. But
So-
between-
Superman, though, we can't just gloss over Superman.
I agree. Even though I didn't see Superman,
Mhm.
I heard glowing reviews from all of you about how good it was.
Mhm.
But I think it is important to understand, like, you know, what audience you're playing to.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you have a lot of people who are incredibly nostalgic about these great, like, vibrant memories of superhero movies and comic books that they had in their childhood. And I think, like you said, you know, it's like kind of some copium. People keep like coming back to the same IP with the hopes of chasing that same high. In a
Yeah.
sense, they're chasing the dragon. And like every once in a while, something is pretty damn good where everyone can agree, like, damn, that was sick. For me, that was like The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With Heath Ledger. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was
And
incredible.
like it had like a cool commentary on society.
Yep.
You know, it was gritty, it was cool. Like, you know, it was just like rad as shit. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think there is maybe something to be said about all the people who were clapping as soon as this movie ended, who were clearly satisfied
Yeah.
with their viewing experience. And I mean, I'm just arguing here. If those people are satisfied with a movie that we think is flat, boring, and flawed, then maybe they're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, they're forsaking people like us in
I
order
mean,
to make it.
I think there's something, it's such a weird thing because the other aspect to this that you're bringing up is like, I am grateful that this movie exists because it is successful. It is going to make a shitload of money. And because of that, like, people are going to go to the theaters. The theaters are going to do well. And that's awesome, you know? And also, like, you know, whatever people enjoy, like, that's awesome. But I think there is a problem with superhero movies, and I feel like that's why there is this constant, like, Martin Scorsese calling them roller coaster movies and stuff like that. But there's these examples, The Dark Knight, the recent Superman movie, you know, and then if you get outside of like really popular IP, you have like Kick-Ass, you know, just really fun, awesome superhero movies.
And Invincible.
Yeah.
Invincible.
Tough
Yeah.
guys get the girl.
Tough guys get the girl.
Another classic.
Another class.
Yeah.
All of these films did very well. But like those movies, they cater to the fans, right? If you're a comic book fan or just a superhero fan in general, it caters to you. But it also can cater to just the normal person that might be outside of that threshold, but that can enjoy the movie on its own, you know?
See, that's why I have like a problem with superhero movies nowadays. Because like, dude, I used to be way into that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
fuck, I mean, I had not seen like any Marvel movies prior except for like Iron Man. And then on 420 one year, I went into a theater and watched Avengers Endgame without seeing anything prior, and it made me cry. it was so good. I was like, oh my God. And so I watched every movie in sequence leading up to that.
Oh, that's awesome.
In order to watch like the rest of the
How was that experience for you?
incredible. It was great. I mean, there were some, you know, some were like, you know, I don't know, whatever, but like it was a great time.
Yep.
And you know, like in my earlier years, like fuck, I remember Edward Norton as the Hulk.
Dude, yeah.
Awesome film.
I know.
right?
I love that movie.
Yeah, dude.
Or I haven't seen it in a while, but
I remember loving it.
I used to love the original like Spider-Man movies. I mean, I watched them again.
Dude, with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, and
Dude.
they're kind of there's a lot of cheese.
Are
in
you
there.
in or are you out, Spider-Man?
But as a kid, like I was so connected to those movies, and I think there's just great elements to them still that like hold up. But and I mean, I think you bring up a great point with Endgame. Like that was the thing that I feel like Marvel did super well. And I think there's some that, you know, are like, oh, whatever, you know, you can kind of brush by that movie and, you know, but all of them were good. Like they were fun. They connected. The overarching story was masterful, you know, to get to that point of Endgame. And I mean, I had a similar experience. I don't usually get emotional during these types of movies, but I like to get emotional during movies. And Endgame made me feel something, and that was awesome. And that's why I feel like I am a little pissed right now because I want that again. I like
You're chasing the dragon.
well, I'm hopeful. Like when I go into a movie, I don't want to see a bad movie. I was very excited for this movie too. Like the retro futuristic vibe that they have in the movie, it just like it caters to me. That's my favorite type of thing.
I really
Fallout,
liked that they made that choice of like making it a period piece.
I think that's
and
one of the
I was,
only good things about
I was
the movie.
very stoked
Yeah.
on like that they stayed to that. They stuck to it throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
It's cool style. But that
That style.
inherently is the problem. Because like with those movies we know and love that we grew up on, like we are able, like anybody is able to relate to these heroes because more times often than not, they are normal people just like you and me, you know, who have normal struggles, but then are faced with something extraordinary and much greater than themselves.
Yeah.
However, in this film, it really felt like there was a major separation between like the everyman or woman and the superheroes, the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Because like, especially again, going back to the representation of like the city folk, it was just such a stark contrast,
Yeah.
you know?
I thought it was kind of a new take, and it was just cool that they did something different with everyone already liking the superhero, because most superhero films, like the public, there's like it's really diverse. They don't really like the superhero, but this one, with everyone starting off just really adoring the superheroes, I thought that made a good transition for everyone immediately like hating them, instead of like having them like at a base level of not liking them and then liking them even.
Yeah,
I think-
no, you're right. Because
I
like
thought-
in
'cause I
every
like
other
that.
film, like you know, they start off liking them,
Mhm.
and then something happens where the people are turned against them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Just like this film.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
I mean,
Here's the thing.
You
Here's
said
the
you're
thing.
coming
I would say
after me
that.
today. I'm ready, dude.
Here's the thing. I know what you're saying. They started with everyone
Yeah.
liking them,
if you
which
start, yeah,
usually, like, I feel like more often than not, we get the origin story. So there's kind of a time in between that and the public actually finding out.
Mhm.
And there's always like the police are like, this isn't this guy's jurisdiction, you know, and
But
stuff
also,
like that.
a lot of times there's the aspect of like kind of a grassroots affection or affinity for that character. You know, it's like the people.
But
right?
I think what's wrong with this movie is that their love means nothing because it comes so early. And then the thing that makes it worse is that their hate, it's so bland. Like, I want to see people throwing rocks in their
there
house.
should have been some more
death threats. Instead,
broken glass.
Instead, we get a scene with the Thing like walking down an alleyway and two kids being like, "Hey, man, we got a family too." It's just
yeah,
like,
they're running.
Yeah, they're running.
We got a family too.
And they
Like,
yell
they-
past them.
yeah.
Hey, man. And then it's
Well-
another guy who's like, we got a family too.
Well, of course
Yeah.
they're running. No one wants to pick a fight with the Thing. Yeah, you're gonna lose the fight.
It's
probably.
just so lame, though. It's so lame. Like, I want to feel stakes, and I think that's ultimately the thing. Is like, you do feel the stake with their baby when they like go to Galactus, and he's like, "You got to give me your child."
I'm hungry.
That's great. Yeah.
Hard ultimatum.
I thought that scene itself was sick. Like, Galactus was one of my favorite parts of this movie. I thought it
the
was
Galactus
really cool.
intros were kind of fire.
Yeah.
Not like him just being big as shit, just like moving, like
Oh, yeah. You get
Yeah.
that sort of.
the light in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get kind of like a Godzilla element
Yeah,
where
I
he's
know.
like walking through the city. And,
That
I
was pumping me up.
I love one thing I did like was when he like grabbed the ground with the tree and he like smelled it and like I think it was Johnny Blaze or somebody was like
Yeah.
I was like that's me. See, I related more to Galactus in that moment
Yeah.
than I did with Johnny Blaze. At
that
any
was a
point
good
in the
moment.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like what?
maybe not with Galactus as a whole.
I just think, like,
the child.
Give me the child. Hey.
I think, like, a
Says the guy
really,
who's made like every fucking joke under the sun. Sorry, go ahead, Michael.
I think a really big piece about this movie that failed are the people of the world, because that is, to me, like what should be the biggest stake, you know? And that's like the thing that, like, you want to be with the character, you want to relate to them, and no one likes the feeling of being hated, you know what I mean? But as a viewer, I never once doubted that they were ever going to like make some change to that, you know, and like get the people back. It was so predictable, and that's part of the fact that it's just like a thing of the genre that happens every single time. But I think a big failure of this movie is Pedro Pascal's character. What's his character?
Dr. Reed Richards.
Dr. Reed Richards.
Yes.
He's really smart, right? And because of that, his biggest superpower is that the writers didn't have to try at all. Because he's just like, oh, by the way, I invented teleportation and it works now. That'll probably come up later. And then he's
Check
like,
out this egg.
oh yeah, remember that scene earlier of the thing that I did without, like, there was no struggle to get that at all.
Remember that egg I
Just use
teleported?
that. And
He's like, in the fields, lost my egg. I teleported my egg out in the field somewhere.
I put my egg over it. Yeah, that's the origin of Zach's egg character.
yeah.
Zach Downing, 3-time award-winning actor. He has a good egg bit, and
Yep.
we quote it a lot.
Anyway, Michael, please
Yeah, go
finish this thought.
I just, like, this is something that I'm starting to see in Marvel a lot, and like with the last Spider-Man movie that came out, really pissed me off, is that he has a machine that can do everything, and basically, like, do you guys remember that in the
Which
third
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man, the one with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and
Oh,
what's his name?
oh, you mean
can't think of his name.
when
Tom Holland.
when Spider-Man goes emo? When he gets
No, you're
No.
thinking of
yeah,
the old
no, because
Venom one.
oh, sorry, you said
No, we're
Tobey
talking
Maguire.
the new one where
Andrew
all three of them
Garfield
meet up.
and Tom Holland.
Yeah, I did see that. I don't really.
And he just
remember
kind
it.
of has like a betterizer machine. Like, he just has a machine in his apartment with his aunt that you can just like make anything with it. And like, he didn't create a cure for cancer or anything like that, you know, which I just thought was super funny. He has this machine with like so much untapped potential. It's just like these things, it's like, come on, can we think just like a little harder? Like, can we try a little harder to make the stakes a little more earned? Because watching this movie, like, I know a lot of people love it and are going to love it as they watch it, but it's just brain rot writing. Like, you're just purely there to watch it. You saw the movie, now you get to see the next one. Dopamine check. But like, I like a movie like The Dark Knight where you have to think about something, a moral dilemma. The moral dilemma in that movie of him choosing between his woman and choosing between a ship full of people, that is like, that's one of the most intense superhero scenes ever.
Yeah, because the stakes are like, they're there. You can see
Yeah.
them. You understand them.
Mm-hmm.
And those
like-
stakes, that's just a ship of people.
Yeah.
This movie is the whole world.
The whole
And
world.
we can imagine, the world,
Yeah.
right? But like, imagine if you will, the world. But, again, if we don't have good representation of the people of the world, then it's like, fuck them.
Fuck these Sims.
And-
I kill my Sims every time I play The Sims.
Whoa! But that's why New York is like such a good cop out for superhero stories, is because it is a melting pot.
Mhm,
So it is meant to be indicative of the people of the world,
mhm.
protecting people
Sure.
of all creeds and races. And,
Even though like the majority of them were super white.
yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that the Fantastic Four, right, came out as a comic years ago? Okay. The Incredibles ripped off Fantastic Four, right? But this movie feels like Fantastic Four ripped off The Incredibles.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wild take, Michael.
With the Underminer?
The Underminer.
I do like that actor a lot who played the Underminer.
Oh yeah, Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, he's awesome.
A family, so to speak, of people. One of them being super flexible.
Stretchy.
One of them being able to be invisible.
One of them being Jack, a super baby.
Basically, and Jack also goes on fire or lights on fire, just like Johnny Storm. And we have the Thing, which is like Mr. Incredible, right? We also have the mole guy. Just everything about this movie, the retrofuturism, like everything about it is just like, this is just Incredibles. And like Incredibles is a Disney IP. It's Pixar. And it's one of the best superhero movies as well that I think they've put out.
And
like, in my opinion, that's a hot take, but
you know what else Disney owns? Marvel.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it just feels recycled. Like,
Yeah. Well, they can do whatever they want.
yeah.
They'll throw whatever they want to us little piggies in the slop, and they'll be like, "Eat up, you muddy little pig."
Yep.
And we'll just like dig our noses through the
Oink
mud
it all
and just
up.
oink it all
Right into
up.
the trough.
Yeah. And we'll be grateful for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really grim philosophy of modern superhero movies coming from this pod. I would like to say one thing positive about this film. Okay. One thing that I really liked, and I mentioned this to you in the car, was tonally, this film was very consistent.
Yes.
Very consistent in its tone. And while that tone was somewhat distant and bless you,
Thank you.
estranged from maybe what we were hoping for, just like an exciting movie. I could kind of see what they were going for, and it was consistent. It was like that sort of like light humor, like kind of like the LaCroix of humor, where it's like
Yeah.
like kind of a whisper of a flavor of comedy.
Yeah.
And it's just them doing family stuff and being a family, which that's nice, I guess.
Yeah.
But tonally they succeeded, and it was impressive how well they maintained the excitingness of those boring comedic sequences with the rest of the film. That was a really backhanded thing to say, but
I'll say something after hearing you guys just rag on this movie for the last hour. We started with you with what you think of the film. We never really got to me yet. So I'll say what I think of the film. I liked it. I thought it was I had a way different experience than both of you. I think I will preface, I've always been a Marvel fan my whole life. Growing up, I've always just been into superhero movies. That's just a real fun time for me. Superhero movies. So with me being really into superhero movies and going with Kellen, who hates superhero movies, it's like kind of a fun like yin and yang. It feels.
I don't hate superhero
You hate Superman.
movies.
It's okay.
No,
you know?
I don't.
Yeah, you
It's
do
okay
hate
that you hate
No,
Superman. It's
no,
totally fine.
I don't hate superhero movies.
So
I just don't like them as much as like everyone else.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, the way I feel about superhero movies, if we're like doing the whole parent, allegory, is like I watched these kids grow up and now they're doing drugs and they're just fucking everything up. They're just fucking their lives up.
Wow.
But-
you raised those kids.
I raised
You were there
them,
every
dude.
step of the way.
You're watching them make mistakes that you wish you could prevent.
Yeah.
But you hope that they will learn from these mistakes.
Yes.
And I do hope they do.
I don't not want superhero movies. I want more superhero movies. I just want more good superhero movies.
Yeah.
I would
See,
like that.
If we're going,
I
I'm
like
glad
that.
you liked it though.
I did like it, and it is kind of fun being on a podcast with two people who absolutely hated it, and just have. I know it's not the best,
Yeah.
but again, I loved the very first Fantastic Four with in 2004, was it?
I don't even remember.
Being a young kid seeing that movie, it just like resonated with me. I'm like, this is so awesome. And then, grow up a little bit in time, seeing the second iteration of it. I didn't like it. I just was feeling so low. And this one brought me back to a place where I'm like, okay, this is cool again. Like just coming off of that last one, I'm like, I just hope to God it's better than that. And it is. It's just, so.
Dude, that's great. That's
Yeah.
what I hope for you
Yeah.
and like everyone else who is clapping at the end of this film.
Mhm.
That's what I hope for you.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know. I wasn't with the other guys back there who were like, this is the fucking greatest thing ever.
I saw you.
But I was
We saw
excited.
it.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's fun. Had a good time. I will say the CGI looked great with all the powers. I think they did a great job with that. I will say one thing that took me out with the CGI that I have not seen done well, and I hope that they change this. A CGI baby, just seeing the CGI
Oh, yeah.
baby, I'm like, it's so not real. Like it just
Yeah.
kind of takes me out of the moment. And have you seen Twilight?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, have you seen all of them?
Yeah.
Whether you know it.
The CGI child in that was just so terrible.
I don't remember that.
So they have this young actor, and instead of like finding like a baby, and it's supposed to like grow up super quick.
Oh, like
a baby,
a
like
stunt baby.
little younger versions of that along the way. They decided to just CGI that girl smaller, so you could see her grow up to become like what the young actress is, and the CGI baby and all of that, and that is so terrible. So this is a little step further, but I just haven't seen anyone do a good CGI baby. I don't know why. That's just like seeing a CGI person that is so clearly fake, just like, and they're like acting with it and talking to it. I feel like it just takes me out a little bit.
Yeah. I also, if we're going to talk about the CGI in this movie, I did not like the Silver Surfers look in this movie at all.
Oh, that's right.
I thought
Julia
that was
Garner.
terrible. But hold on, before we get there, I also just thought like Dr. Reed Richards looked so dumb.
Stretchy guy.
When he was stretching. Just like really, really cheesy and
Nice
corny.
stretchy
That's
guy.
probably why we only saw him stretch twice.
Yeah, they kept the stretchies from us
But here's
Yeah.
the thing.
because they're like, we freaking nailed the fire.
Yeah.
We got Invisigirl down.
I
Let's
don't
do a couple
necessarily
stretchies.
think that is anyone's fault though, because that has to be
It's got to be impossible.
the hardest character to actually like portray on screen. And I feel like for a comic, right? Great concept for a character. You can stretch as far as he wants. For a movie though, I don't think they're ever gonna get that right. It's never gonna look good. It's too hard.
It didn't look terrible to me. Big old stretchy guy, real long guy.
I don't know.
You can disagree. It's okay.
You're the deciding vote.
It's okay. You don't have to be with me on that.
Here's the thing. Like, I almost thought the 2005
I-
Mr. Fantastic, they did a better job.
A
of
better
showing
stretchy
the,
guy.
The stretching.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe you saw like more of the textures of the stretch. I feel like
Yeah.
they skipped out on like showing like
they
the textures of it.
they had kind
It's
of
just-
weird like camera angles for the stretching. Like
Yeah.
at one point he stretched like into the camera, and another point in that like moment where Galactus has him between his fingertips and he's just stretching him out. They were cutting to like his arms and then like his legs and then like, like right here where his like suit was ripping and then like his face where he's like, oh, they stretching me too much. And then like a wide where you can like kind of make out a teeny tiny little guy.
Yeah.
They really danced. They pirouetted around the stretching of Mr. Fantastic, and I love Mr. Fantastic. I think like it's a really interesting superhero stretchiness.
Yeah.
And
Stretchiness.
I wanted to see more stretchies.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But-
because the only other thing he has going for him is how smart he is.
He's
and there's
super smart.
nothing
Dude.
interesting about that in this movie
Can
at
we
all.
can we talk briefly about how like whenever he's like there were I think 2 points where like he's by the chalkboard and as the audience you're like, okay, here we go. He's gonna be smart. Let's see it. And he's just like drawing bullshit on the chalkboard, like drawing some symbols or
numbers.
whatever.
Yeah.
And like I think the very first instance of like when he was supposed to be smart for us, it's like, come on, monkey, be smart. He like interrupted his own thought and like didn't finish explaining what like he was getting to, as if it was kind of like, you wouldn't get it,
Yeah.
And that's such a bullshit cop out, dude. Like I know it's difficult to write an intelligent, like a hyper intelligent character, right? But there are great examples of that being done in the past.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm sure, I think The Maker, have you seen that? I think that's a good example of that. Like, it's like, bunch of lawyers, and like, they don't placate the audience. They talk in like,
Lawyer jargon.
yeah, but you can still like, it gives you context clues that you can pick up on and like learn and understand as you like listen to this conversation. And it's very effective because it's so immersive.
Yeah.
And like in this, it was almost like, somebody ran the numbers and they're like, oh yeah, actually we don't need to do that. We don't need to make it good.
Yeah.
We don't have to. So
Yeah.
like, don't bother.
It's just like his character just feels like a cop out the whole time because it's just like, oh, he can do anything and we don't have to explain how or why. I feel like kind of like you're bringing up, like smart characters can be really interesting characters. Like when I think of a smart character, I think of The Social Network,
Oh,
because there's this inherent thing where like, kind of like you're talking about, like you have all these thoughts in your head, but you can't communicate them to other people, and there's something about your communication that gets lost in your intelligence. And like this character is just like, he's just super smart, he's super cool, he has a hot wife and he has a baby on the way, and you know what, that thing he did with the egg earlier, he's gonna do that with the world. Like it's just like,
that's what I got going on.
My impression of Reed Richards. You take the world and you push it somewhere else.
Yeah, I thought of that too. I think you and I looked at each other when like he's like, we're gonna teleport the world. And like you and I looked at each other like, it's like SpongeBob. That made me laugh. That was good.
It's just so funny. He's like, yeah, you could see Galactus is coming straight for us, so we just got to move it. You just got to move that world right over there.
I think he actually had some line that was like, the world it's like an egg, right? It's like
One big egg. The core is just the yolk. It's tasty.
But
yeah.
real quick, guys.
It is kind of like an egg for Galactus.
I guess it has a core. It has a yolk.
If
right?
he eats it in the morning, it's a world in the morning.
I wonder if it tastes good to him like an egg.
Judging by how he grabbed the earth and sniffed it,
Yeah.
I think it does.
That's how I sniff eggs.
You do.
Yeah. But real quick, guys, before we sign off here on our
Skedaddle.
pod, Julia Garner.
Mhm.
Let's talk about her.
Wolfman,
Wolfman,
Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer. She's in the upcoming movie
Weapons.
Weapons. Man, again, I hate to be a hater, but I just don't like Julia Garner as an actor.
I think she's a great actress. But the only exposure that I've really had is Wolfman and now this movie. And I know she's like getting roles for a reason, but these roles are just awful. And I mean, I will say, like, in this movie, benefit of the doubt, like, worst CGI I've seen for Silver Surfer. Like, I feel like the Silver Surfer CGI was better in the first iteration.
In the
Fantastic
2004
Four.
one, the Silver Surfer looked so good.
Looked so sick.
Yeah,
it looked
so cool.
so awesome.
And this one, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What was going on? And Wolfman, I mean, she was awful. in
She was
Wolfman.
dog shit. And like that was like, that's been my whole experience with her as an
Yeah.
actor, is like, she just is always fucking pissed off about something. like that's the expression I get on her face, and like the way she interacts, like in almost every role I've seen her in the last like 5 years. She is just like, she treats the way, okay. And I know it can't just be her,
Mhm.
right? And honestly, if that's her typecast, she does a great job at it. But she's just like such an asshole to everyone around her, and it's like, I don't know, dude.
Just helping
Something-
Galactus eat worlds.
Something about
Such
her,
a jerk
dude.
move.
No, it's
Such
just
a
like,
bully.
and it's like it's almost like it seeps through, like it pierces the veil a little bit to where it's like, I wonder if she just like doesn't want to be on set, you know? Like, I wonder if she's just pissed off to have to work. I don't know. That's
I don't
my
know.
take.
I just think she has something in her that she probably hasn't been able to like actually do anything meaningful with, you know?
Fuck, that was a way better answer to that.
I like that one more.
Yeah.
I just,
Fuck you, Sean.
I mean, the character in this movie looked like shit, so it was really hard for me to take the character seriously. Wolfman was just a bad movie all around. You know, that was one of the worst movies we've seen this year.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good point. That's gotta be.
Because, like, a lot of people said that about Kristen Stewart, right? She's like the actress that you look at and you're like, why the fuck is she so pissed all the time?
Bring it back to Twilight again.
Yep. This is a really Twilight heavy episode. But she is a great actress. Like, Personal Shopper. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. Great Criterion movie. Awesome performance in that movie. Recently she did a crazy movie called Love Lies Bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
Great performance. Like, you know, she has it in her. She's a great actress, and I feel like it's probably the same thing with Julia Garner. I just haven't seen, like, personally, what show is she from? Is she Game of Thrones?
Julia Garner? No.
Really?
No.
She's from something.
Not Game of
Got to be
Thrones.
from something.
She didn't
I
start
agree
with
with you on
Wolfman.
that.
She
She got to be from something.
She didn't start with Wolfman, that's for sure. But I'm just gonna look it up.
I'm doing it.
No,
I'm looking it up.
no.
Oh yeah, she was in a movie called The Assistant that was really good. Ozark. She's from Ozark.
Ozark, that's what it is.
I haven't watched
Got
the
it.
show. I know a lot of people loved it, and I'm sure she's really good in the show, which is why she's getting roles. But Wolfman sucks. This movie, I didn't like it. I didn't like her in it. But that's kind of a big tangent on Julia Garner for no reason. I feel kind of bad now.
I
Oh,
don't like her.
Kellen hates her, so
Oh,
stand
that's
by.
right. Yeah.
he had
That's
to-
right. I didn't start it.
Yeah, no, that's
it's
Kellen.
fine. Yeah.
Guys, if you feel differently, drop a comment in the comments and tell me otherwise.
If you don't like Julia Garner, follow Kellen on Instagram so you guys can cyberbully her.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Well, as always, this has been nice.
It's been
Has
real
it?
nice.
It's been so great. Next week, we're going to watch Sorcerer, and we're going to review that. And then after Sorcerer, we're going to watch a little movie that I've been very excited for called Weapons. And we're going to watch an IMAX.
Whoa.
And have you guys seen Barbarian yet?
No.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Is our
This
Lord
is
and
a
Savior.
movie podcast. And you guys haven't seen Barbarian yet.
You keep asking me. To
Remember
watch
how
it.
we were talking
I
about
just
being
don't want to watch it.
Remember how we were talking about being disappointed in children earlier? That's how I feel right now. I'm
Really?
disappointed in you guys.
Mm.
Anyways, you can follow us on Instagram at Boys Meet Film.
Don't get a chance to follow up
no,
on that.
no, you guys,
Okay.
nope, you're on timeout. You guys don't get to talk anymore.
It's clobbering time.
You guys can follow us on Instagram at Boys Meet Film. You can follow me on Letterboxd at mschnee. And please subscribe and ring that bell. And maybe like this video, although I doubt anyone's going to. Bye, guys.
Bye.